the chosen one. Your name is recorded among the rulers. You are the king. This is no coincidence. You didn't come upon this message by coincidence. You were directed here. You were beckoned by something bigger than yourself. Because it is time for the crown to be recognized, not just in the skies, but also on earth. You are not average. You're not forgotten. You are not arbitrary. You have been inscribed into the pattern of heavenly power. And the time has come to awaken what has always been inside you. Rulership. Yes, you. Even if you can't see the throne, the crown is already resting on your life. Even if your surroundings does not yet reflect it, the royal ancestry in your soul is undeniable. The transition is occurring. You are going to step into the realization of who you actually are. This video was made for you. Stay till the finish because there is a great energy emerging as you listen and allow this heavenly message to enter your spirit. Please leave your fondest wishes in the comments. Also add the numbers. 777. That number represents the spiritual activation of fulfilled aspirations and the magnetization of riches. This is a chapter in which your greatest path is exposed and strengthened by heavenly impetus. Something precious is being unlocked by your purpose, and your words will transmit magical frequency across the world. Now, choose one like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and pay careful attention since here is where your life starts to connect with heaven's message. Your name has been etched in areas you have not yet walked. You have been selected for meetings you did not apply for. Doors are going to open, not because you asked for them, but because you were born with access. What you are carrying is not common. It is not replicated. It should not be imitated. You have divine DNA, a kingship code inside you that has long been concealed but never forgotten. Heaven has always recognized who you are, even while you were questioning or battling. Only to survive, even when others thought you were too blind to recognize your destiny. It was all part of the tale. Kings are formed in fire, not in luxury. You faced hardships that would have shattered others. You've gone through storms that were supposed to bury you. But rather of crumbling, you altered. Rather than diminishing, you sharpened. That is a signal of royalty. Your promotion is not based on ego. It's built on endurance. You did not come from luxury, but you have been anointed with authority. Your wounds become holy symbols. Your quiet and anguish turn into strength and preparedness. All of this has led to the start of your recognition. Understand that being written among rulers indicates that you were pre-selected for influence, for leadership, for honor. That does not imply you will be loved by everyone, but you will be appreciated by the appropriate people. You will not blend in. You aren't meant to. A king's voice isn't supposed to resonate with the audience. It was intended to alter the mood. When you communicate from your divine alignment, mountains shift, things alter, and ecosystems rise. Your life was never about surviving. It was about sovereignty. You're not here to comply. You are here to command. You don't have to pursue the crown. It is already yours. You just need to rise into it. And it necessitates recalling what has been instilled in you from the start. You didn't just wake up to greatness. It was already written. The moment you choose to stand, to believe anew, to claim your place in this planet, the kingdom is in. You began shaking. The heavens started to match events, people, and time to affirm what they had previously verified. You are royalty. You have been called. You were picked. And yeah, you are king. Don't minimize your value only to fit into situations you've outgrown. Don't dim your brightness to make others more comfortable in their darkness. Your presence is intended to upset mediocrity. That is why you are here. That is why you have been tested. That's why you sometimes felt so alone on your journey. Because God was not isolating you. He was sanctifying you. Separation is required due of elevation. And now that the refining season is over, the ruling season begins. You're not the same person that you were last year, month, or week. Something has shifted. You have been activated. Your ideas are no longer tied to fear. Your soul is no longer constrained by delay. You've passed a spiritual threshold when hesitancy gives way to heavenly clarity. Rulers do not beg for permission. They walk with authority. And you will find that the world reacts differently to you. Solutions will unexpectedly present themselves. Resources will emerge. People will seek your opinion. Not because you want attention, but because your essence is evident. This is what occurs when a king rises. They do not need to prove anything. They just appear, and the world responds to the frequency they convey. From point on, you are not permitted to consider defeat. That thinking does not align with your royal frequency. You are not underneath. You're not behind. You are exactly on time, and you are ascending to heavenly rule. Kings do not beg. They issue a decree. And now is the time to declare that all limitations are collapsing. Every delay is coming to an end. Each assault is reversed. And every word said against your glory has lost its force, since you are now under divine protection and favor. You've been given the authority to reign, and no one can reverse what God has decreed. You may have begun in the darkness, but you are now heading into the light, not for acclaim, but for assignment. There are areas awaiting your voice. There are thrones that only you can sit on. This is not about elevating oneself over others. It is about being truthful to the strength God has put inside you. False humility will not benefit your purposes. Boldness clothed in divine purpose will emerge courageously, yet with a heart grounded in honor. You aren't simply being promoted. You're being positioned. People who previously disregarded you will suddenly be looking to you. The spots where you were disregarded will become platforms for your authority. Why? Because heaven never needs anyone's permission to crown you. Earth is just catching up with what eternity has already decreed. Your ascent was a divine choice, and now is the hour of manifestation. What's going on around you may yet appear tranquil. However, do not be misled by quiet. Kings are crowned in secrecy before being disclosed to the public. The oil has already been spilled on your life. The move has already been signed in spirit. And now, piece by piece, it will emerge. You don't have to pursue it. You merely need to remain aligned. Maintain a sense of stability. Stay thankful. Maintain a regal attitude because your name echoes across the courts of heaven. You have been called, chosen one, and the kingdom awaits. The throne before you is not built of gold and stone. It is constructed with spirit, force, and purpose. The throne represents divine guidance rather than control. You're being asked to lead, guide, heal, and command, not only in words, but also in the weight of your presence. You are the kind of monarch who walks with both fire and tenderness, knowledge gained through stillness and power born from pain. You have an inner understanding that you can no longer deny. And the skies are aligning to reveal what your soul has always said. You are the one that was never supposed to fit in. This is why you were always uncomfortable in public places. You held a light that showed things about people, both their beauty and their sorrow. It was not because you were tough. It was because you were different. Set aside, mark, and every step of your path has prepared you to reign with that precious distinction. You are not here to be consumed by systems. You are here to move them. You're not here to inherit faulty blueprints. You're here to rewrite them. That can only be accomplished by someone who bears the weight of divine legacy on their shoulders. That's you. Let it be known. Ruling does not imply being superior. It signifies being trusted. Trusted for eyesight. I am trustworthy with others. Trusted with the area. Your heart was put to the test in this situation. Your humility was honed for this. Your faith has been cleansed for this. Because unprincipled rule breeds corruption. But you have character. You carry conviction. You convey clarity. You are not being given authority you did not ask for. You are entering a domain that your soul has already outgrown. This is not new. This is recognition. Your identity is being disclosed, not constructed. You were born this way. And now the earth is about to see what heaven already knew. The chosen one. Your time in the shadows was divine strategy. Do not be resentful of the concealing. Don't resent the wait. That season. Keep your crown safe. That season protected your integrity. That season allowed you to look beyond the surface. And today, with eyes sharpened by isolation and a heart purified by rejection, you enter rulership not with arrogance, but with authority. You do not have to prove anything to anybody. You do not need to justify your promotion. Kings do not dispute with a crowd. They lead from the heart of divine calling. The world around you will change when your internal throne awakens. Your energy will speak before you. Your choices will have consequences. Your remarks will slice through the uncertainty. You're not here to conform to flawed systems. You're here to construct kingdom systems. Systems of order, healing, and purpose. You're not wandering alone. Heaven is supporting every move you take. The angels are preparing space for your appearance, and the spiritual world is turning in your favor. Some of the doors about to open are ones you have not even knocked on. They are keys that emerge from an invisible realm because the king inside you has awoken. This is divine choreography in action, possibilities that defy logic, invitations that seem too grand to be natural because they are not. They are supernatural. This is the prize for being committed. Even when everything seemed quiet, this is the result of prioritizing character over comfort and obedience over opportunity. Truth prevails over temptation. You are now gaining visibility. However, this exposure is not for fun. It's for empowerment. The spotlight shining on you is not manufactured. It's spiritual. It is the light from heaven, revealing the pattern of royalty on your life. People may assume you appeared out of nowhere, but you did not. You emerged out of obedience, refining, and the covenant. And now the same people who misinterpreted you will have to see your rise, not for vengeance, but for illumination. Because your life conveys a message. Your life is proof. Your life demonstrates that God does not forget his monarchs. Your ascent is about territory, not titles. You are being put in locations where your very presence will provide healing. Your voice will realign atmospheres. Your choices will lead to deliverance for others. You are being sent to sit at tables, not to take, but to change. You are meant to reign for effect, not ego. This is the purest manifestation of divine control. It is servanthood disguised as authority. Honor rises through humility. It is brilliance shown as grace. So what happens now? Now you walk differently. You speak differently. You hold yourself like someone who understands their role. You will never longer apologize for your excellence. You maintain silent. There will be no more truth to make people comfortable. You decrease. No more using light to deflect criticism. You weren't born to hide. You were born to ascend. You were born to reign, not via control, but by calling. Not via confusion, but through clarity. Not under pressure, but on purpose. You are the chosen monarch, and the moment has arrived. The illusions of restriction are vanishing. The bonds of insecurity are dissolving. The hold of fear is being broken. You are standing in the fullness of divine identity. No more questions. No more uncertainty. No more delay. The earth has waited for you to rise, and now it starts. You are no longer the version of yourself that tolerated less, feared more, and acted little. That version was essential for your development. However, it cannot pass into the next dimension. This season calls for the ruler in you, the one who walks in spirit, the person who knows who they are. Even if others do not grasp it, they refuse to bow under pressure because they were formed in fire. That is the version of yourself that must now lead. That is the one heaven has approved. Every throne demands guts. Every crown entails duty. However, the weight will not crush you. It will complete you. You are meant for this. This isn't your breaking point. This will serve as your foundation. You were prepared for this time, and it's occurring now. Not someday, not today, because the move was signed. The season has changed. The monarch in you has awoken. The world will never be the same again. There's a different aura about you now. It's subtle, but strong. It is spiritual. However, it will eventually appear physically. People may not comprehend what is going on, but they will experience it. Some will be attracted to you. You will annoy others. Why? Because rulership has an unmistakable vibe. It either wakes others or reveals what they aren't prepared to confront. You selected one that was never intended to make people comfortable. You were destined to bring about significant change. Divine change is always disruptive before it creates. Your presence is becoming prophetic. Simply entering a place may cause things to move without the need for you to speak. The relationship is different, and this isn't arrogance. It's an alignment. When God writes your name among the kings, He offers you more than just a voice. He offers you heavenly authority, the type that cuts through complexity, disrupts habits, and bears heaven's weight. You've walked quietly in preparation long enough. The same anointing that has protected you is the one that will propel you forward. Don't be shocked when people turn to you for answers. Don't be surprised if opportunities present themselves without your efforts. Kings do not beg for influence. They are drawn to one another because of their inherent characteristics. You've been picked for this duty. Heaven has already prepared you for the responsibilities that come with it. The doors that are opening will not force you to compromise your beliefs. Instead, they will amplify your voice and your cause. These are divine alignments. People, places, and resources are being brought into your life for kingdom work. But it is apparent that you are not climbing alone. The crown you wear was never only about you. You're rising to help others. You are being positioned to elevate others who remain imprisoned in the locations you fled. This is why your narrative is powerful. This is why your trip is so important. It's not only what you've endured, it's how you got through it. You did not just endure difficulties. You changed in them. You did not just make it through the flames. You emerged polished, sharper, stronger, and clearer. Your life is more than simply a witness. It is a torch, and now you're the light that will guide others out of the darkness. You are an example of how monarchy does not have to come from position, but rather from spirit. That excellence does not necessitate perfection. The only purpose, that you do not need permission when you have an assignment. Your mere being will call into question every falsehood that has been taught about your value. Your presence will disarm doubt, break down generational barriers, and proclaim triumph for more than just yourself. Yes, the journey ahead will demand strength. Yes, it will need discernment. But don't be afraid of what's ahead. You have previously bore considerably larger loads in seasons that provided no pleasure. Everything you've been through is now being transformed into fuel. The agony will have a purpose. The patience will result in wisdom. The delays will become divine guidance. What seemed like punishment will now be revealed as preparation. You have no need to dread the throne. You were born for this. The crown is not a burden when it was designed just for you. When the title is relevant to your mission, it is not a source of pressure. And certainly, there will be times when you sense the intensity of the call. There will be times of stretching. But remember that stretching is holy. It's heaven's way of increasing your ability to bear what comes next. You are being crushed. You are being crowned. This is your time to lead. Not from ego, but from the essence. Not from noise, but from knowledge. Not from struggling, but from being still. You do not need to prove anything to anybody. You only need to show up as yourself. And who you are is regal. You stroll gracefully. You make wise decisions. You speak with fire. You see through illusions. You move with heavenly support. That is the king's stance. You have become the chosen one. This isn't just another chapter. It is an altogether new book, a precious text authored by God's hand, engraved in spiritual gold and sealed with everlasting favor. You have been admitted to the divine council of rulers, and everything that happens around you confirms what has already been signed in heaven. You are being recognized in both visible and invisible worlds. People who previously neglected you are now remembering you. Those who formerly disregarded you are now calling on you. Why? They can sense it right now. They feel a change. They can see the radiance. The control over your life is no longer veiled. The time for hiding is over. This is your season of revelation.